Tonight, it's Madden NFL football. It's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, we'll have the final two games of this kickoff weekend, and we begin with a great one here between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cleveland Browns. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Browns on offense with Baker Mayfield, the former #1 overall pick at quarterback.
It was so interesting in the run-up to the draft to talk with different scouts. I got one to tell me that in his notes he wrote down, Mayfield, brash, happy-go-lucky, plays the same way, barely restrained improv act that frustrates opponents and sometimes his own coaches, but produces plenty of highlights. What do you think of that?
First carry for Nick Chubb. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Second and 7. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And this one complete right side to Funchess. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Mayfield. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack.
Baker Mayfield sack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. Leading this unit will be the big arm man out of Texas Tech. 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
We know the arm strength is certainly there. He's got a big-time cannon for an arm, and that's not a surprise. He's the son of a former Major League pitcher.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown.
Mahomes.
Tyreek Hill, 57 yards. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football. All right, when you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
25-yard line.
Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes us forward for about 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Pickup brings up second.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Play fake. Mayfield. finds a man with a crossing route. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Mayfield on first down. He's going to go deep for Funchess. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Devin Funchess, 51 yards. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
At their own 25-yard line.
Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career. And Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go. And this will be caught at the 30. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A gain of 37.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire. And they'll get this down to the 10. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter 1 of the new year. We'll be back. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Now Edwards-Helaire. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play call to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. 3rd down. Mahomes now to throw. The quick slant caught. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs have taken the lead.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run, and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
7. Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
And now the Browns coming out on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there. that forced the incompletion.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Working out of the gun, Mayfield, and finding the tight end Hooper. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
35 yards that time on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. KC's offense ready to take over. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
The drive will begin with a run by Edwards-Helaire. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
No gain.
You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees it, the ball.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line.
1st and goal.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. They'll try to run with Edwards-Helaire. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
We all know how much running backs love getting the ball down near the goal line. They think they're going to find a way into the end zone. He hasn't had that kind of luck so far. Ends up not getting in on the last 2 carries. You know he's going to be upset about a missed opportunity.
He can run for it, and he will. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. He'll get a couple of yards on the keeper, but it's going to lead to a 4th down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Touchdown, Kansas City.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Butker now to add the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Nick Chubb, the ball carrier. He's tackled at the 29-yard line.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports.
With the score, Chiefs 24, Browns 7.
From the 29, Mayfield quickly into the hands of Beckham. 7 yards there and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Mayfield looking middle, and it's incomplete. Nick Chubb, the intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
3rd and long for Mayfield. And he comes back with one complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Number 19.
They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
Over 1st and 10.
Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line.
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 78 yards. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
They're on the 24-yard line.
Beckham and the Browns set to take over again. With them losing here in the 2nd quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts. One of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him.
31-yard line.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
At the 45-yard.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Give him 32 on the play.
Still all sorts of time left in this game, and you'd like to be able to say take it 1 play at a time. But the truth is, they're probably going to have to hit on a few big plays in the passing game to close this gap, and that's a good start right there.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of them...
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Brian Burns. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. Mayfield. And the pressure gets there. He'll go down. It's a sack. And it is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. And we remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll hand things off to the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a very intriguing opening weekend in the NFL. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the...
Mahomes hit. He lost the football. Able to fall on it, but look where they recovered it. That's a big loss.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. And they set themselves behind the chains, trying to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Throwing on second and long. Mayfield. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on fourth down. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Browns send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Set to take over, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. He does have the 1 interception, Charles, but I think that's been more than offset by the 3 first-half touchdown passes.
I would agree with you. There is a blemish, but when you've thrown 3 touchdown passes to try and erase it, that's a little bit better than a ratio that all NFL coaches are seeking from their quarterbacks, and he's giving it to them.
They'll take the 3-1?
Every single time.
On second and 11 now. Mahomes. He'll find Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. And a first down. To throw, it's Mahomes. And he'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. And he'll be taken down by the face mask, it appeared. And yes, out come the flags.
What was that, Rob?
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So after the penalty, we'll have one final untimed play here before halftime. Final shot before the half from Mahomes. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
3-yard line.
Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. Right side complete. That's Woods. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Not the kind of gain that we'll go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of gain that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Completes it to Hardman. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's second down.
It's a gain of a yard. Brings up second and goal at the Browns' 8-yard line.
They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do?
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to pour it on. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Set to return it, here's Turner. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
At their own 19-yard line.
There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. The Browns drive about to get started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Mayfield to throw it. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Chris Jones, his 2nd sack of the night.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
He's got Hooper on the short connection. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense and Tyreek Hill heading back out onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Here's Mahomes to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That catch good for only a couple.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. But he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you put out of a smaller back. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Now's a good chunk of yardage picked up there. And big fella, sometimes he doesn't need a whole lot of space created. He can make his own way.
Mahomes to throw on 3rd and 1. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete. Frank Reich, he didn't even seem hesitant about this. He wants to go for it on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Tyreek Hill with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And this offense continues to pour it on. A gutsy call, 4th and short. They go for it. Look at the result.
Yeah, not only did they go for it, they threw for it. Because to me, it was stacked up for a run situation, strength on strength, and they decided to put the ball in the air. And what a result. Big-time play.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They run it again with Chubb. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards. His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage and a first down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again, and he's also made adjustments as the defense has tried to really stop him.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And this Browns defense coming to life. They get him behind the line for a 2nd straight play. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And they're going to have a 3rd down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. The quick slant caught. And the Chiefs are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal.
They'll keep it on the ground. Clifton, and this time he is in.
Yes.
Punching it in from a yard away. And the Chiefs use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation.
Looking up into the lights, and he muffs it. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. So these fans just kind of beside themselves right now. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Throwing, Mayfield. Funches with a catch over the middle. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 32-yard line. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. The Browns on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They set up the screen to Chubb. And he is going to have a Browns first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1. Just to pick up a 3, but that is indeed enough.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
They'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
From the gun, Mayfield. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And he'll take a shot here for Hooper downfield. And that is incomplete.
Bills pass. Incomplete.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
And that'll be off the crossbar and out. It's short. He couldn't get it there. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And you just kind of get the sense that this team's been snake-bitten a little bit here. They just have not had anything go their way.
It's like they collectively walked under a ladder on their way into the stadium. What else could go wrong?
On 1st down, Mahomes. That's caught. It's Demarcus Robinson. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Mahomes. Oh, he's looking for a touchdown deep for Woods. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
After what they faced during this game, where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Well, nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
Mahomes now on 1st down. Throw right side, going to be caught by Hardman. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll check on his status when we get back. So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Now here's Mahomes. Quick hitter here. It's complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
To number 14.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football. Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. They'll find him.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Mahomes to throw once more. And it is incomplete. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
And from the shotgun, he'll throw.
And the Chiefs are going to get him.
Baker Mayfield sacked.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield.
And he'll wind up getting about 6 out of that, as that's going to lead us to the 2-minute warning.
Brings up 3rd and 12.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Receiving team. Oh, man.
A pretty good return, all things considered, but holding.
I agree with you totally. It was actually a return that they were going to be very proud of. But when you end up holding and bringing it back, now your offense has to start a little bit deeper in their own territory.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. He's going to air it out deep for Woods. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. They go play action. Now Mahomes. They're going deep for Hill. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete.
Mahomes pass.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. They'll get 34 yards there.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And I actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the 3rd quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the 4th quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On play action, it's Mahomes. His throw incomplete. Looking for Woods that time, and it's 2nd down.
Incomplete. He was covered by Denzel Ward.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. Mahomes now to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
First down, Chiefs.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mack Wilson. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is... And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Second down.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Mayfield. And this one complete right side to Funchess. The 20, 10, and somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown. But they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film. But this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point safely through as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
And out come the Chiefs now.
And this has been quite a performance to kick off the new year on the road, no less, as they try to finish things off here in the fourth quarter.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. From the 24, they'll go again on second and 10.
4-yard line.
Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. Airing it out deep. He's got a man. Complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's first and 10 from the 45.
Hey, check 43. 57. Right here. 57 to Mike.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
First down, Kansas City.
So first and 10 now from the 30. They go play fake. Mahomes eluding the pressure right.
And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Denzel Ward.
Mahomes pass intercepted. The Browns.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
And no doubt this is not the way that they had hoped to open their season. Thoroughly outplayed here in front of the national audience.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. as time has run out on this football game.
Chiefs 52.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Kansas City, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they'll be back home next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.